Hi, I'm Jennifer Evans-Cowley, a professor of planning at Ohio State and technology enthusiast. A recent study found that at the end of 2010, more than 63 million Americans owned a smartphone. That's 20% of the American population. With rapid growth in smartphone use, this has created opportunities for planners to engage with the public. If you can dream it up, it's quite possible that there's an app for that. For example, a bus rider on Portland's TriMet developed an app that offers a bus tracker that displays arrival times. My favorite part of this app is that it has a nighttime visibility flasher that creates a flashing screen that a user can hold up so bus drivers can see them at night. Similarly, the Central Ohio Transit Authority's app, Bus Tracker, is one I personally use because it tells me the nearest bus stops to my current location as well as the next upcoming arrival. For cold days, it's great to be able to stay inside and time my travel or to be able to get in that extra 5 minutes of work when I'm busy. While transit apps are widespread, there are lots of other types of information that can be shared. For example, the Victoria Fire Authority in Australia, in partnership with Collaboraforge, created CFA Fire Ready. This application shows emergency warnings and locations of incidents of brush fires. It also provides brush fire advice for users. Maybe you want to catch up on your latest favorite magazine. Well, if you're into economic development, you can catch up on Louisiana EQ. The state of Louisiana contracted with Aceling Digital Media Solutions to develop an app version of its quarterly magazine. Readers can keep current on the latest in economic development on their time via iPad or iPhone. I have to share my favorite city-developed app, You the Man. You the Man was developed by the City of New York Transportation Department as a way to fight drunk driving among men aged 21 to 35. In focus groups, the city staff found that drunk driving happens when friends fail to plan ahead and at the end of the evening, the least drunk friend ends up driving. Enter the app. The city created fun games such as spin the bottle to decide on the designated driver and a blood alcohol calculator that gives you amusing results if you've consumed, say, 20 drinks in an hour. Users can make a shout out on the You the Man Twitter feed. For example, we partied, ate, drank, and took a yellow cab home. That's all I'm telling. A great feature is the app's ability to map the user, the nearest public transit locations, and a button to call the nearest car service. The app's linked to the city's Taxi and Livery Service Department's database. Users love this app. So glad it's finally here. Not just late night drinking nights, but late night freezing nights. Been waiting for something like this. All the apps I've talked about at this point provide users with creative access to government information. Phoenix claims to be the first city to launch a free app that allows users to interact with the city by sending photographs of graffiti and other blight violations to the city's Neighborhood Services Department. Other cities, such as Delaware, Ohio, have followed suit. My Delaware, Ohio is an app developed by AppOrder.com that gives residents a way to notify the city about all kinds of code violations. Users simply take a picture, document the problem, and press Submit. The app attaches a location to the report and sends it to the city. The user can request text updates about the results of the city's investigation, letting citizens know what happened. Other cities are connecting their 311 non-emergency system, allowing citizens to request service for a broad array of problems. For example, Boston's Citizens Connect mobile app, where people can report either by iPhone or Android. These apps are part of a growing field of tools that help us better navigate the real world. At this early stage in apps, they're primarily limited to information sharing. As this technology evolves and the number of available applications increases, planners can expect to see a growing number of tools to help engage with the public. Now, one way cities are encouraging this is through open data initiatives. For example, Seattle decided to increase public access to its data sets with a machine-readable format. I mean, why shouldn't the city of Seattle make the locations of public toilets available? Surely some creative programmer can find a fun way to use that data to create an app, right? And New York City, their goal is to make data more transparent, accessible, and accountable through their DataMine website. The departments provide a wide variety of data. To encourage use of that data, the city hosts the Big Apps 2.0, a competition that awards a cash prize for the app using the data that receives the most public votes. By February of 2011, more than 50 apps had been submitted for consideration as part of the competition. The winner is required to make the app freely available for at least a year. In 2010, the winner was Wayfinder, an app that allows you to point your phone and see which subways and trains that are in front of you. As London's mayor recently said, Sunlight is the best disinfectant. While there isn't an app for everything yet, cities are finding creative ways to encourage programmers to develop applications using public data. Planners should be looking for opportunities to open their cities and make them accessible. Now let's imagine what the next wave of planning apps could be. Task Avenue is an app that is a geotagged to-do list. Imagine this type of app going to the next level. What if planning-related 311 complaints that people submit via app could be automatically directed to an app like Task Avenue, alerting you when you're near a complaint? That's just one idea. In a transportation plan, what if we could get people to volunteer to let us track their daily route to help us in addressing connectivity issues? This Blacktop app shows a map of a person's daily route. Using an app like this could help planners collect detailed travel pattern data that can't typically be gathered from interviewers. Cool stuff. Now in Columbus, Ohio, there's been a recent debate about whether or not to allow a racetrack to come into the community. One major concern is noise. What if planners and the public alike could use an app like Wide Noise that measures how noisy an area is? This data could be aggregated to help the public and decision makers better understand the impact of noisy uses. Now, I'm sure that you can imagine lots of other ways that planners could engage with the public if only you had an app for that. If you're interested in learning more, I have a new book out titled Opening Cities that's available through the APA website. I tweet about the use of technology in planning, or you can send me an email with a specific question. I wish you all the best in your own efforts to open your cities.